the worst headache of my life woke me up. It was just like someone was drilling into my brain, and I couldn't talk.
I didn't know what was going on with her. I just knew that she wasn't right. She wasn't Katie.
Everybody knew me by name. Everybody would like say hi to me. It was genuine. You know, everybody still remembers me when I come walk by. They still remember me as that girl. Oh, the lovely little girl there. They give me hugs, they give me kisses. Everyone up to the cleaning lady, they all know me. They like treated me like a friend.
I think it's pretty common today for hospitals to be concerned about patients and to be concerned about them first. But the difference with Lutheran is that we're really concerned about the whole person, the people first.
Even as the neighborhood has changed over time, become more diverse, it's still here in the same place serving the neighborhood as its major healthcare center.
Hospitals that are just a couple of miles from here have closed. And we've grown to accommodate them. We expanded our emergency room by 45%. We've expanded our medical staff by 125% in the past 10 years. So we've gotten bigger as we've needed to get bigger.
We try to meet all of their needs in an ongoing way. If they need chemotherapy, we link them with that team. If they need acute care, we link them with that team. We want to see our communities thrive by giving them job skills, good health, and a good community to live in.
All of a sudden, I started catching pains in my side. I never realized knowing that I had cancer.
People saw this presentation of this cancer, but assumed that Jerome would be able to orchestrate getting to the next step. And he fell through the cracks time and time and time again. I think part of the issue with Jerome was that he was homeless, he was undomiciled. And I guess the sentiment was someone else will just take care of it at the next step, because this isn't what I do.
Other hospitals that I noticed they haven't having that really care and concern for me. Deep down inside, it had bothered me. But knowing that I am at Lutheran Medical Center, I see just a lot of care and concern for me.
I truly believe that it was the combination of community medicine and orchestrating his care with Lutheran Family Health Center and combining under the roof of Lutheran Healthcare that his life was saved. And not only was his life saved, but he's now a productive member of society.
We're dealing with the whole person. We're trying to make sure they're comfortable. We're dealing with the family that's around to make sure they're comfortable. And we try to treat everyone, all their symptoms around it. And I think that's really helping patients get through the hardest part of their life at this point.
We treat them like a family member.
I told them that I feel so sick. I've been with the doctors, with hospitals. They told me you got virus, but personally, I don't believe. I have something serious.
I realized the minute I saw him that this was not a typical viral illness or a typical bacterial infection. And when I started to speak to him and I got his history of what he did for a living, which was working as a butcher at a halal poultry farm, I thought immediately that he probably had leptospirosis. The bacteria affects all the organs of the body and can really cause a multi-organ system failure. We started him on the appropriate antibiotic therapy for that type of infection. He was so critically ill that if he had not been diagnosed promptly and correctly, he absolutely could have died. Every patient that gets admitted here gets treated with the same amount of respect and compassion, and I think that for a lot of our patients, that's not something that happens everywhere they go.
I think I am so lucky. They take care of me too much.
When I was walking on the platform, I slid on some sand and ice. and I went down on the tracks. The motorman said she saw me, but she couldn't stop the train in time. You know, 2 cars passed over me.
You bring him to Lutheran, you bring him to the trauma center. He's got a really nasty open tibia fracture.
It wasn't just that it was broken, it was shattered in about, I think about 8 to 10 different places.
We had a study going on at the time, which is still ongoing, using genetically engineered bone-growing protein in a project to try and get tibias to heal.
Dr. Lyons says, but I can do the surgery, and he says, I will have him walking in a year. And sure enough, it's a year, and he's up on a walker.
I don't think there is a recognition of the complexity of cases that we deal with at Lutheran. I think that because we have done so much for people care and primary care, which is very important, the fact is that we provide a significant amount of tertiary care, particularly around trauma.
They worry about you from the time you come in until the time you leave.
My carotid artery tore, and it caused a blood clot in there, and the blood clot from the tear moved up to the brain.
What that's called is a dissection, and that can happen spontaneously. It can happen actually when we're in the gym. It can happen when we're getting our hair done. It's one of those spontaneous freaks of nature, unfortunately.
I was thinking, I was like, why can't I walk? I'm like, I can't believe this. I'm thinking about everything, like random stuff, like how am I going to put my makeup on? How am I going to do my hair? I'm like, oh my God.
For someone so young to have a stroke and to have loss of function of one side of your body is incredibly traumatic. So one of my first priorities was to give her hope.
While physical strengthening, physical recovery is a part of it, it's also that one-on-one, that compassion, that care, that gentle hand to that person, that encouragement that sets us apart.
When I listen to the person and they tell me the one thing that they really want to be able to do, that's the one thing that I try to focus on. No matter what the high-tech stuff, no matter what the low-tech stuff, or what the literature says that this is what we should be doing, it's really whatever the patient tells me that needs to be done. I try to address that specific thing.
She's learning how to move her body again. She's strong, and she did it in a quick time frame.
My goal, I think, would be to wear, to be able to wear a high heels again. Simple, that's pretty simple, but I want to be able to wear high heels again.
She's my heart, before and after.
I just want, you to know that, I'm so thankful, and he says that I'm not in his debt, but I am.
I'm here, and we're gonna get better together, not just by yourself, and she knows that.
Lutheran is a real way to touch people and make a difference in their lives. The money that's given here is used to provide education, health care, spiritual support, all kinds of medical interventions.
People depend on us, and if we're not here, many people would not have quality health care.
We're not providing second-class care to second-class citizens. We're providing first-class care to everybody.
How well I'm able to serve the patients at Lutheran depends as much on what I have in my heart as on the medical knowledge I have in my head.
People of good means, of healthy means, of a lot of means, also a part of our country that demands that we promote the general welfare. And an institution like Lutheran Healthcare that promotes the general welfare is good for the whole community.
From the housekeepers to the neurosurgeons, they're all people that care.
A healthy Lutheran means a healthy New York.
Love them all for what they have done for me. They saved my life.
Thank you very much for all the help that they've been, because they've been very helpful and they took very good care of me. And that's all you can ask.
Lutheran saved my life. I am grateful to these doctors. What's happened to me is a miracle. I want to meet everybody and maybe take photos.
To have someone from not walking to being able to walk again, It's truly remarkable.
Thank you to everybody who like didn't judge me or didn't like treat me like I was like, you know, just another person there. I remember them. They're like my angels. I love them.